Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video, we're looking at an essential skill that can shift you forward in your personal and your professional life. And that skill is public speaking. So whether you are preparing for a speech or a presentation, or you just need a boost in your confidence, I bet this video is meant for you. So stick around so that we can cover 5 do's and 5 don'ts for beginners in public speaking. So to make things interesting, let's start with the 5 do's. What are the 5 things that you need to do as you are preparing to present great speech? Do number 1, prepare thoroughly. The cornerstone of any good or perhaps great speech is thorough preparation. Let me say, you can't prepare too much. Look at it. Imagine you want to build a big house. Then you put in a little foundation for that very big house. Let's say a skyscraper. What would happen? It's a matter of time. The building will collapse. But what happens to a situation where you reinforce your foundation so much as if you want to build skyscraper, but you end up building just a story building or 2? What do you think will happen to that building? It will last almost forever. Thorough preparation is almost like that. You can't prepare too much. It is better to over prepare for a simple presentation than to be under prepared for a very elaborate presentation. You are better off over preparing. So you can't prepare too much. The things you want to talk about, it's good you outline your main points. Research your topic. Get to know about the issues you want to discuss. And I will advise, practice your delivery. Things may not always go the way you want them to go, but it's better to have a plan of the way you want things to flow, the way you want things to go on. Now, let me say this. The more prepared you can be in your presentation, the less nervous you will be. People tend to get nervous when they don't know what to expect of themselves. But imagine that you have prepared very well. Then you know what to expect. So you become calm and then you're able to concentrate on your content and you focus on the audience that you intend to make your presentation to. Let me say this, you don't prepare for your presentation, then that means you're prepared to fail in your presentation. So let me advise as we wrap up with the first 2, spend a good time crafting your speech. Practice the delivery of your speech a couple of times. But should you still need to read notes as you are making your presentation, do it. But avoid reading directly from your notes. The second do is that you need to know your audience. It's better to speak to people that you know. So you don't want to stand in front of a people or you want to make presentation to an audience that you are clueless about what they know and who they are. So if you want to help somebody, because the essence of presentation of your speech is really to improve the understanding or to create awareness of a people, but you don't even know what they know. You don't know where they are. How do you take them further? You may think they need to know, whereas they've known. So what do you expect speaking to a group of people who already know about the things you are speaking about? They will really be bored by your speech. So the first thing that you need to do is know your audience. And that will also help you while you are making your preparation. As you are preparing the content, the examples, the case studies, the things you need to use, you are doing that based on the understanding of who you are going to talk to. The language you use, should you simplify things, is going to be based on your understanding of your audience. So if we may conclude on this point, know your audience, know their interest, know their understanding, gauge their level of interest in the subject that you want to talk about. Do they have more understanding than you, or you have more understanding than them? Know what gets them on or what turns them off. If you can, just get to know a lot about your audience. It will help you to also be confident and it will help you to prepare the right content for the right people. The third do that you need to understand as a beginner in public speaking is know your body, practice your body language. You see, as we speak with our mouth, we also speak with our entire body. And the truth is, people sometimes believe what we say to them with our bodies than what we say with our mouth. So if you are communicating something with your mouth, you need your body to also reflect the same communication. So once your audience begin to spot some contradictions between the words out of your mouth and your entire body language, then they switch off from hearing you to watching you. As a matter of fact, watching what your body is saying to them. So this will help you maintain good eye contact. You see, as you are speaking to your audience, understand that they are the reason why you are speaking. Just imagine that I'm standing right now before my camera, speaking to us right now. Imagine that I'm looking like this, and I keep talking, I'm looking like this, and I keep talking, and I keep looking down, keep looking around. I can guess that you'll be discouraged, and you could even move away from this video. So the first thing you need to understand is, as you are relating with your audience, maintain good eye contact and show the right confidence that you want them to see in you. You don't want to misrepresent your message or yourself in the way you carry yourself. So if you can do this, stand tall, avoid crossing your arms, and use your movements to add emphasis to your point. You need to do everything you need to do to make sure your entire body reinforces the message that you are delivering to your audience. The fourth do is that you need to use your visual aids wisely. So if you are making presentations and you need to use slides and the rest, make sure you use them in a manner that convey your message, your content to your audience as clearly as possible. You don't want to get them distracted by your own visuals. So imagine you want your audience to look at you, but you're showing things to them that confuses them, that gets them distracted completely away from you. And so that won't help you. Your visual aids are supposed to aid your delivery. So they are not supposed to be a distraction. They are supposed to support your point. They are supposed to reinforce what you are saying to your audience. So make sure your visual aids are clear, they are direct to the point, they don't distract the people listening to you. Let me just reinforce that point with this example. Imagine you are using a slide and your slide is filled with so much content, almost like an article. So you want people to look at you, yet they should look at the slide and read. So they keep looking, and they don't even know what you are saying anymore. So keep your slide simple. Don't have it overloaded with text. And I believe as you do that, you gain the attention and you retain the attention of your audience. So the last do that I'm going to mention in this video is that you should engage your audience. So as you are making your presentation, if possible, ask questions. Invite people to participate in different aspects of activities in your speech and encourage interaction. So it's possible you say something and then they reply with something else. It's possible you make a gesture and then they react. Note their reaction and respond to their reaction. Imagine a comedian that stands in front of people and makes a very funny statement, but the people refuse to laugh. It would be wrong for that comedian to continue as if nothing happened. Now, their refusal to laugh, it's a pointer to something, the message that they are sending to you. So you take note of the feedback you are getting from them and then you respond to it. You interact with them, perhaps in a different manner from what was done earlier, so that you give a change of atmosphere, change of conversation, perhaps that will turn them on a little bit more. So now that we have seen a couple of do's for public speaking beginners, now let's quickly go into the 5 don'ts, the things that we consider to be pitfalls for public speaking. So as a public speaking beginner, you need to avoid them as much as possible in your presentation, in your speech. So the first don't that you must take note is, don't overload your presentation with information. You see, anything that is too much is actually too much. Whatever is too much isn't good. So whether you are laughing or you are talking, if you laugh too much, talk too much, cry too much, even if you're excited too much, it's not good. If you give information to your audience, ensure that you give just enough. You don't want to give too much. You don't want to overwhelm them with too much information to process. So as much as possible, focus on key points. What are the things you want to emphasize in your message? Let there be priorities in the deliveries. What are the points that you must give and the things that are not necessary? So start with the important points, and if you don't have enough time, end with the good points that you have mentioned. No need overloading your presentation with all the points in this world. Now, this second don't is very interesting. Don't read directly from your scripts, from your notes, when you're making your presentation. What do you think it will look like right now that I'm standing to talk to us right now, and I keep doing like this, and occasionally I look up, I keep doing like this, occasionally I look up, I keep doing like this, occasionally I look up. Some people may be very great at doing this in a manner that does not get people annoyed or offended or tired. But most people will usually frustrate you with direct reading of script while making their presentation. So if you must present an effective presentation, make effective delivery of your message, ensure that you don't get fixed at your notes, at your script. So as much as possible, occasionally go to your note in case you have forgotten the point you want to talk about, but make sure you give your attention, your focus, your facial contact to your audience. The third don't is that you should not ignore your audience. In fact, the reason why you are standing to make that presentation, or even you are sitting to make that speech, is because of the audience. If they are not there, your speech, your presentation will not be necessary. So give them your all attention, your full attention. Make them important in your speech. Get to understand what they are telling you. You know, when you are making presentation in front of an audience, the normal thing is that they will likely be very quiet listening to you. But while their mouths are shut, I can bet you people are speaking with their entire body. So while you are speaking, look at the people. Don't just be talking and almost blind to what they are showing you. Get feedback from people. Get to know how they are responding to each of your statements, each of your phrases, each of your words, if possible, and react to them, or perhaps respond to them, so that in the long run, it will be like an interaction that has taken place in a very short period of time. The fourth don't for beginners in public speaking is that you don't speak too fast. It is difficult for most people to comprehend what people say to them when those people are too fast. Don't forget, as we hear conversations, our brains also process what we are hearing. So when people speak to us too fast, it becomes difficult or challenging for our minds to process the words that we are hearing and the pictures that we are seeing. So as much as possible, don't be too fast. Manage your pace. You could modulate your pace. You could adjust your pace. There could be times that it becomes necessary for you to increase the pace, and times you reduce it. The more of that you have in your presentation, the more engaged or the more interesting your speech and your presentation will be. And if your speech is too fast or too slow, it will actually turn people off. So try to manage the pace of your speech, the pace of your conversation when you're talking to people. Don't be too fast, and I want to say, don't be too slow also. The last don't in this video that I would like to talk about is don't forget to practice. You know, we started with prepare thoroughly. So when you're preparing your speech, your presentation, it's important that you practice. Practice how you intend to deliver your speech, the phases where you want to start from, how you want to continue, and how you want to conclude. Practice. Practice your introduction. Practice the main body of your message, of your presentation. Practice the conclusion. Are there going to be calls to action? Practice the delivery. Make sure that everything that you want to say to the people, you have mastered it before you started it. And as you do that, one thing will be very sure: people will be excited. You are likely going to have some ovation, some claps, some applause for your presentation, and people will say thumbs up, like, you did a good job. Even though they might not have expected so much from you as a beginner, but you really tried. You did a great job. So if you can, rehearse your speech, rehearse your presentation. If you have friends, you have a family member around you, practice in front of them. Make them your audience and get their feedback. Whatever they tell you, don't get excited and don't get annoyed, no matter how negative the feedback could be. And when they are giving you nice feedback, don't get carried away. Keep practicing. Practice a couple of times until you are confident that you are ready to make that great presentation. Keep practicing. And one thing practice will do for you is that it will not only help you to have your content very much ready in your hand, it will also go a long way in boosting your own confidence. And that's it. 5 do's and don'ts of public speaking for beginners. I'm sure you have picked a couple of lessons. Don't forget any one of them. And as much as possible, if you need to watch this video again and again, do that until you have mastered each of the points that were given. 5 do's and 5 don'ts that will help you to make a better presentation the next time you have an opportunity to speak in front of your team, to speak in your organization, or to speak in your community. I want to tell you that I'm so eager to hear your feedback. Let me know how you presented, how you performed in your next presentation. That's why we are here in this channel. The goal is to help you become better, to help you improve yourself and become bold, become confident in making connections with more people around you. Thank you for the gift of your time. I am Boyega Adedeji. Such a great time we've shared together in Think Inspirationals today. So till the next time I see you in the next video, till that time, I want you to continue to work on yourself. And remember to give this video a like and also subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to click that notification bell so that each time we have new videos, you get notified immediately. Till the next time we see each other in the next video, stay fully prepared for the next presentation.